Hello, Gemini. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Gemini is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It's totally free, doesn't cost you anything. If there's anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Gemini, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And a Three of Cups, very nice. This is celebration. This is a lot of good times. Yeah. This is understanding the process of creation on the emotional, spiritual plane. It's like you know how to create an environment of love and support and affection, right? And nurturing and gratitude and caring. Let's put this into some context. Yeah. Let's see where this is going. We're going to use our Dove and Serpent spread. See, now we've got a Four of Cups. So to me, this is kind of like, we understand how to do it, and then this is us kind of doing it, right? Because the Four brings that energy down into the physical plane and says, okay, we're actually having these kinds of experiences. So I think that you're really focused on creating and maintaining like a healthy, happy home for yourself and for your loved ones. Gosh, now we've got a Six of Cups. This is pretty extraordinary. Now we've got the Queen of Pentacles. Maybe there's an older female energy. I feel like maybe they have passed an older female energy in your life. So it could be mom, grandma, could be an older sibling, could be an aunt, could be an older friend. But see, now we've got the Knight of Pentacles. So this, we might not be talking about a person that's passed. We'll find out here in a few minutes. We've got some fire energy popping out now. We've got the Lover's card. This is very interesting. And a Ten of Cups. A lot of water energy here. For some of you, this is going to be the prospect of a real romantic love, true love at first sight kind of relationship, and a Six. Not only do we have the Six of Cups, we have the Six of Pentacles. So this to me is, for a lot of you, I think this is the formulation of a very stable and fulfilling and successful relationship. It seems like it's a relationship that not only is going to provide the emotional stability, but also the physical / financial stability, which we kind of have represented by these two Earth cards, the Queen and Knight of Pentacles. But let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is one random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot that we... maybe right there. We're just going to put right here, we'll put Kevin, a.k.a. Mr. Bates, right there on top of that card. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need, okay? If at any point during the reading you feel like you know what that card is or you have a hunch, I want you to put your prediction down in the comments. Let's make it a group exercise. Let's make it interactive, right? It's an exercise in intuition. I think that's going to be good for all of us, yeah. All right, let's look around the room again, because what I'm noticing, first of all, is that the only major arcana card that we have is this Lover's card. And this doesn't mean that it's guaranteed to be, romantic, okay? And I want to make sure that's clear. This is really the choice to unite with that which our heart wants. It could be a person, could be a home, it could be a business, it could be a new passion in life, it could be a new creative outlet, it could be a new career. Whatever you are choosing to unite yourself with is something that your heart really, really wants, okay? And that's the important thing. And this, I mean, for all intents and purposes, the most obvious interpretation is, yeah, it's going to be a romantic thing. It's something that you feel this attraction in your heart and in your being. And what it looks like here is that while it might have some difficulties at the beginning, it really is going to be a successful relationship, not only emotionally, spiritually, internally, but it looks like you're going to be able to build a future here as well. Okay, so for some of you, it's definitely that sort of thing. But we have, we've got a little bit of fire energy here. And this to me is kind of representing the difficulty at the beginning, the idea that we kind of want, there's this impulse to rush into things. But we've got to kind of take it slow. It's not going to be just like the easiest thing. And we don't want to get into that mindset where if we start to meet with a little bit of challenges, or it's just like the schedules don't match up, or sometimes there's just a little miscommunication, or you're playing phone tag, or whatever these little difficulties might be. Could even be difficulties with some of the earth energy that we see. Figuring out how compatible we are in that kind of living situation, right? In the physical kind of in the areas generally, there might be a little bit of a learning curve, right? But what I'm seeing is that while there will be a little bit of challenges, persisting in this direction is really going to be successful, not only with the emotional fulfillment that you want, but the physical / financial or / domestic fulfillment that you're looking for also. Okay, so I think this is a really good prospect. Now, we could be talking about a business. We could be talking about this kind of passion project. Maybe you want to start your own business or your own YouTube channel, your own Etsy page, or whatever it is that your heart really feels drawn to. Because what's within you is this Six of Cups, and this is the kind of connection that you're making. And this is really the feeling of fulfillment that you are aspiring to. And maybe you're starting to feel that now. Maybe this is something that hasn't quite happened yet. Maybe you're already in this kind of a situation or relationship. Okay, some of you might be in a relationship already. You might be experiencing some difficulties in the immediate future. But I think the fulfillment you're looking for is there, and it will continue to manifest if we persist. If we persist in the work, and if we persist with the kind of long-term vision that we have. Because let's look now at the Knight of Pentacles and the Six of Cups together. It's like we have this long-term plan. You can see where you want your life to be in 5 or 10 years. And maybe it's that you want, a more stable financial situation. You want a more kind of rhythmic life, a more kind of routine existence and stable. It could be that you're looking to start a family, you're looking to buy a home or build a home. But you have these very practical goals long term, right? You have what we like to say with the Knight of Pentacles, you have the long-term spiritual vision. Okay? And that includes necessarily this Six of Cups. It has to be something emotionally fulfilling. If it doesn't have this kind of spiritual, internal, deeper, more meaningful, more kind of depth-oriented, more like value-filled, feeling to it, then all the success, all the practical benefits kind of don't matter to you, right? So your long-term vision has to have this component of water. It has to be something that you feel like you connect with, something that is maybe the two of you really have to be on the same page spiritually, or with religious practices even, or just with the same kind of values. We see the Six of Cups a lot of the time talking about harmonious values. Yeah, because we've got a Three of Cups internally and a Three of Cups externally. And it just so happens that our very first card was that Three of Cups. So you know what you're about. You know what kind of life you want. You know what's going to make you happy. And what we're looking for with this Three of Cups is our other Three of Cups. We're looking for that match, And that's why we've got a Six of Cups down here, because it's not enough to just... I think to have these goals and aspirations and to feel like we exist in a certain isolated way, right? And maybe that's what this Four of Cups is too, because we're worried that we have this great capacity for love, for spiritual experience, for transcendence, this real depth of experience, but we're worried that we're not going to be sharing it with anybody. right? That whoever we're with, we're not able to connect in that manner. And whether this is a current relationship, if this is talking about a future relationship, or if it's about a relationship with the work that you're doing, right? So it doesn't have to be romantic, but even if we're talking about business, there's that romance there, you know? And there needs to be for you, otherwise we feel like we're just kind of, we're living this very successful life, but it's kind of lacking in the meaning. It's lacking in the depth when we only have a 4. It doesn't match up with that 6 of Pentacles. We need the 6 of Cups, right? Let's talk about these other earth energies that we have. Let me put these back where they belong here. With the Queen of Pentacles back here, I wonder if there is an older female energy that has passed for you, that may be part of their life, or what you kind of remember about them, or the part of the feelings you have attached to this person are that they lived a very practical life, a very successful life, but it always felt like they were longing for something, that something was missing. And I think that might be, for some of you, why we've got this real necessity that if we're going to have a 6 of Pentacles life, if we're going to be the success here, we've got to have our 6 of Cups as well. We're not going to do what maybe we witnessed mom or grandma or auntie or older sibling or any ancestor, anyone else in our life, or maybe this is just symbolic too. Someone that has, it seems like they have everything. They had all this reason to be happy. They had success, they had money, they had stuff, but they weren't happy. But they didn't have that deeper spiritual connection, either with a person, with a family, with what they were doing, with their own sense of spirituality, right? So I feel for some of you, that's going to be an older female energy that has passed, and I feel like this is the motivation for you in that kind of a way. I feel like maybe there was something to do with their lungs or breathing. If this is a person that's passed, I feel like they had a difficulty breathing. I also feel that someone in your life is dealing with a lot of back pain right now. It might be you, might be someone close to you, but I feel like there is this, it's not so much spinal as I think it is muscle related, like a strain or something. Now, sometimes you cough in a weird way, or you yawn in a weird way and you throw your back out. It feels like something like that's going on. But anyway, the 7 of Wands here in the future position. The immediate future feels like the difficulty there, because this might be for some of you going through a lot of saying no. You know, this might be really the difficulty with holding fast to what you believe in. So staying true to yourself and just being assertive with what you do not want in your life, right? This is the ability to say no to things, even though everything seems tempting. We have this ability to say no, or I'm not sure yet. It's okay to not be sure. It's okay to still be kind of wrestling with how we feel, what we want. And I think there is a mix of people out there that are either in a relationship now where we're trying to see if there's that deeper connection, or if there is a reluctance to allow those kinds of deeper romantic connections into your life because of your requirements, because of your standards, right? And so it's almost like we're trying to we're keeping that away. We're not sure if that's something we're ready to explore, because we know that we're going to have to probably say no to a lot of people, a lot of things. So sometimes the 7 of Wands can make us feel a little bit overwhelmed that what we want is not out there, or it's a lot of hard work to get what we want, to get the kind of, we've got a lot of water here. To get the kind of relationship that we want, whether it's with ourselves, with our spirituality, with another person romantically, whether it's just with our family as a whole, whether it's with our pursuits and passions in life. Any of these things. But what I also see is there's this Four of Cups, and we're trying to get out of that, and we feel like it's kind of a struggle to break out of this Four of Cups, which is sort of this contentment. It's almost like we've got this real capacity for love and transcendence and spiritual experience and, all of this great stuff, but we're kind of keeping it, it's kind of being locked up in our more practical situation. When we kind of look at this earth energy, it's kind of like, we're in a situation now that is very, very successful in this earthly, practical way. But in our emotions, we're kind of frozen, right? So I feel like we're trying to kind of get out of that. And now as we go to the path of the serpent, and before I do this, I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Totally free. Doesn't cost you anything. Leave a comment for me. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I love to see how worldwide our community is here. I really do enjoy that, and I love all of you. Moving now to the path of the serpent, we start with this Knight of Wands, right? Fire on fire. This is kind of we're itching to go. We're just kind of in this position where I don't care what I'm leaving behind, I've got to take off. So I think some of you are maybe feeling like this in your practical earthly life right now. It's just like, I got to get out of here because this is just, it's kind of freezing your heart in a way, right? It's, and it may not feel like that. It may feel like you're getting a little kind of hot and uncomfortable, because we're moving into this fire energy. So rather than thinking of it as our emotions are frozen, it's more like there's this anxiety that's kind of overcoming us, and this feeling, almost a frantic feeling, where we're just kind of tap dancing in place because we feel like we need to do something. We need to go somewhere, do something. And to me, that feels like it's this Three of Cups that really has kind of been getting buried and lost behind all these other cards. The Three of Cups is really this capacity that you have to express your love and affection and your spirit and your soul and your compassion and all of your creativity, and just be who you are and let it flow, And it feels like this is kind of, it's starting to build up inside of you, and it really needs an outlet. Whether it's a creative outlet, whether it is just, finding your people, finding something to do in your life that really makes you feel like you can breathe easy. Yeah. Because the one thing we don't really have in this reading, any swords cards. We don't have any air here. So I feel like it's getting a little stuffy. Yeah. And, the Knight of Wands here is kind of feeling that anxiety. Yeah. Feeling that anxiety. So we're reevaluating now. We've got this Lover's card. This is the only major arcana card. This card is all about union. I don't care what you're uniting with, but this is what we long for in a deep spiritual way. And whether this is a romantic thing, a purpose, if it is a future, if it is, a family, if it's some sort of a spiritual or religious thing for you, whatever we are longing for, right? It's at the core of who you are, okay? And I feel like we're starting to reevaluate the choices that we've made and the things that we are involved with. Businesses, companies, friends, family, lovers, whatever it is, creative pursuits, studies, religious activities, community, activities or events, or whatever we allow our consciousness to unite with. I feel like we're reevaluating that, and we're asking ourselves that very difficult question. Is this fulfilling the needs that I have? Right? And not just those surface level desires, right? But the really deep kind of spiritual needs. Yeah. Are they fulfilling? And I think it does go back, for a lot of you, back to this older female energy. And for some of you, I think maybe both parents are passed. We have the Knight and the Queen here. So I wonder if, that might be ringing true for some of you. But I really feel like the Knight of Pentacles is that future. It's almost like the Queen's looking at the past and the Knight is looking at the future, right? And we see the past, and so we know we're trying to learn from our own mistakes, learning from the mistakes of others, learning from what we've witnessed in this older female energy, if this is ringing true for you. We're trying to learn from the past. And then we're trying to kind of project that onto the future. We're trying to figure out the way forward. Because we do want a life that is completely successful, functional, lucrative, prosperous, flourishing. But it's got to have this Six of Cups aspect to it also. Okay? So when we run into the 10 of Cups, we start thinking, am I expecting too much? Am I asking too much of life? Am I being unreasonable? Am I being selfish? No. No, but with the 10 of Cups, we have to realize that this is perfection. That this is the process of creation, finished, done, put a stamp on it, send it. You know, it's written in stone. It's unalterable. And this doesn't really exist. This is an ideal. This is, if perfection could exist, this is what it would look like. But the process of creation is never really over. It's happening all around us all the time, right? So when we see a 10 of Cups, we have to realize that we're not going to become sugar, because then we'd never be able to taste sugar. We're never going to become pure bliss and euphoria, because then we wouldn't experience it. It would be, there would be no conscience. It would cancel each other out, right? So we're never going to reach all of our goals. We're never going to reach 100% satisfaction. Might get 99.9, right? And that's going to be okay. So when we think of these expectations, we can't think of, it's like we're rejecting $1,000 because it's not $10,000. Well, that seems foolish, right? We can't hold out for this absolute miracle, 100% purity. We strive for that, but we take what we are given, we take what the universe offers us, and we keep striving to improve that situation, but we don't lament the fact that I can't have things exactly how I want them 100% of the time. And the reason for that is because we don't exist in a vacuum, right? We have to deal with the multiplicity of the universe, of consciousness. So there are other wills out there. There are other people striving for their own 10 of Cups. So I think that this is, I'm not trying to dash your expectations, but we have to be reasonable, right? And I want you to shoot for the stars, right? But if you hit the moon or the sun, I mean, that's pretty good, right? So we have the 10 of Cups as our absolute highest ideal of perfection in our life, whatever this means to you. And we have to strive for that, but let's not be disappointed when we only get a 9.99999, right? I mean, that's close, and that's pretty good. And the way that's kind of reflected in the real world is with the sixes. Because, the sixes, really, that is perfection. The sixes are the center of the system. The sixes really are the sun, right? Number 6 associated with the sun. It's the very center of the tree of life. The sixes all represent the solar energy. And it's beauty, it's harmony, it is perfection, it is the perfect kind of blending of heaven and earth right here, right now, in the realm of our experience. It's not some abstract ideal that we're setting up that we can never truly attain for any kind of practical purpose. But the six is the perfect life with all of its imperfections, right? So this is the functional harmony and beauty and resonance and satisfaction of everything that you desire in your life. And since this is earth energy, I think that this is really the success of the business, of the relationship, of the union in a very practical way. Okay? And I think that really what we want is for this to be the vessel of this water energy. Yeah. So we kind of need both. We need the earthly realm of practical success, and it needs to be filled with value and meaning. It needs to be filled with the water energy. So I think this is a very good reading for you. And I want to look at the mystery card. And I want to see this as some major arcana energy, I want Wheel of Fortune, I want Empress, maybe the Lover. The Lovers again would be okay, but I want Wheel of Fortune or the Empress more than anything else. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Okay. I kind of feel like it's going to be some air energy. But what I want and what we're going to get, two different things usually. So let's see what we have. Okay. Well, we got the Five of Cups. And I think this is right kind of in line with the progress that we're making. It's we've got 3, we've got 4, now we've got our 5 before we get to our 6. So it's kind of saying that, hey, sometimes things are going to fluctuate. There's going to be a lot of mixed feelings here. But if we look at this 3 of Cups, if we're like this figure in this card, if we're staring down at the 3 of Cups that have spilled, if we're looking at this unfulfilled, it's going to be devastating. It's going to be sorrowful. It's going to be a loss. It's going to be disappointing. Okay? We're focusing on what we do not have, right? Those 3 cups, party's over, right? All this love that you have is just, it's spilled. It's not creating anything. But the secret of this card is that these 2 cups are behind, that there is an infinite flow of this water energy going through you. See, we've got the 3, 4, 5, and 6. But what comes before the 3, right? Well, is the 2 of this card. And the 2 of Cups is really the source of it all. And it's the source that is kind of, it's what is inspiring the union. The 2 of Cups is those two souls, the 2, points of energy that are separated. It's you and the universe, right? It's 2 things that are separated from each other and they're longing for union. And that energy is always there. And that energy, that attraction, that kind of very fundamental force of the universe of two things that are separated coming together is what is fueling this. It is the source of all love and creativity and spiritual experience and union. So I think the 5 of Cups is exactly what we need right now. The realization that that we have an infinite flow of this energy, and just because we're maybe not feeling it right now, or because there are going to be bad days. I hate to break the news to you, but not every day is going to be blissful and euphoric. There's going to be ups and downs, ebbs and flow of the water energy, right? Of our emotional energy. But what we have to do is always return to the source to get that to start over with that flow and that inspiration, that aspiration to union, and not focus on the negative, not focus on that disappointment that's right in front of us. Yeah, it's disappointing, right? It doesn't feel that great. But let's allow it to be what it is, and let's focus on the union. Let's focus on starting that energy up again, right? Anyway, we're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around for that, click on the link that's either in the corner here or down below in the video description. New readings for Gemini every Monday and Friday, 6 a.m. Chicago time, but I'm here every day. Just come on back, see me tomorrow. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Totally free, doesn't cost you anything. Leave a comment for me. Let me know how you're doing. And I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.